going on, guys? Rain Zeus bringing you a Magicka Dragonknight tips and tricks style video. After my previous video launched, a lot of people thought that I should do like a video on Magicka Dragonknight and tips and tricks about it, because people were having a lot of issues with mag decay, like sustain, overbuffing, when to be passive, when to be aggressive, how to stay alive in your rotation, etc. Anyway, the best way that I thought that I could do this is kind of break down and slow portions of the following clips later on down to show and explain certain portions and rotations and stuff. And this did take me a few days to slap together, between editing it and slowing the clips down and putting it all together. So I would appreciate some feedback in the comment section down below, and don't forget to like the video. And like I said, I would like to see your comments and your thoughts and comments in the comment section down below, because I want to help you guys as my fan base as much as I can, especially in learning a class that you're probably not familiar with. I do hope you guys enjoy the video. I know this is a longer style video than what I normally make. I usually make about 10 minutes, but this is going to be a little bit longer. So I'm going to put timestamps down in the description, so that way if you guys aren't interested in this explanation, or you're not really worried about the dual portion about rotations, and you can just skip straight to like the open world clips, then you can. And like I said, I hope you guys enjoy the video, and until next time, guys, peace out. Alrighty, goes. So to start out fights where majority of your buffs are from range, except for your volatile, like if you have distance or space in between the character and yourself, you can just go ahead and buff up on the way to them, and then apply burning embers. You always want to have a burning embers up, because that is a big chunk of where your heals are. I'm trying to do this fight slowly just so you guys can see what I'm doing. I'm not going to explain like light weaves and all this stuff, because I feel like everybody out there that's played this game for an extended amount of time already know how to light weave abilities. But like for an example, you light attack weave your Ellie Drain and Entropy, and you do all that on the way there. So you've already, like for an example, just these light attacks alone, I mean, they get him weaker on the way in there. And then you would apply your burning embers, you would fossilize. While somebody's like rooted or snared or not attacking you back, there's no point blocking. So that's like wasting stamina and making you slower, because you don't get any return while you're blocking. So like, anyway, you would go in, do a burning embers. I always do talons first, because a lot of people, they dodge roll out of talons. So like as soon as somebody dodge rolls out of talons, if they don't CC break it, it's a different type of root immunity. So you can immediately fossilize after their dodge roll. So they dodge rolled out of talons, which use stamina, and then you fossilize them after that, and then they're gonna break the fossilize immediately. And if they're a Magicka character, you already know that individual is going to be relatively lower on stamina, so you can play more aggressive. And after all that, they're already gonna be taking damage from all that. So like you would come in, burning embers, talons, they're gonna dodge roll, fossilize after you whip once, and then light attack weave and reapply burning embers. And then just like it repeats. Now that's like the dumbed down version, guys. So like this is in like a private scenario, so he's not even playing aggressive right now. So you don't even have to worry about defensive buffs. But like, when I first started playing Mag DK, I had a lot of issues overcasting a lot of abilities, and that's a waste of resources. So like, I'm playing a new build, so I'm still getting the hang of applying Ellie Drain instead of wards, but I put them in the same spot as my wards so it would feel more familiar. I still catch myself overcasting Ellie Drain instead. Alright, so there's that portion of the video, like the rotation. I mean, you just catch them weak and you always want to have burning embers up. And each classes are different. I mean, you have like he's a Magplar for an example, and he can well, he's a Stamplar, I'm sorry, and he can purify your dots. So you, like, every now and then you want to make sure you're always reapplying burning embers for that heal, and it also gives resources back because the burning effect and the passives. But the way I play it super aggressive. I mean, because with the builds that I have, like the build that I have on YouTube and the build that I'm currently in the process of testing, you can stay aggressive, and you have a lot of damage mitigation and whatnot. But like I said, you always want to control the pace of the fight as a Magicka Dragonknight. I probably overuse talons. Like, as soon as I see them little markers around his feet indicating that he doesn't have immunity to talons anymore, I'll talons him again. But that pretty much covers the actual rotation portion of the guide. Like I said, you always want to reapply burning embers when the pathing in the game allows you to do it, at least, because sometimes, especially here recently with this patch, like it's like you'll do the weave and then nothing happens. Like you'll use the ability, it'll take the resources, and it's like it doesn't go off. It's like you get hitched and stuck in the animation. But anyway, like I was saying before, you always want to reapply burning embers when you can. And a lot of mobile characters, especially Stamina, he's a Stamplar, so he's a hard counter to Mag DK, because he can purify all your heals. And if he purifies your heals, everything that you earned, like the DPS that counts towards your heal, gets reset and you don't catch a heal. So every time you see like a Magplar or a Stamplar purifying your stuff, you always want to reapply your effects, like burning embers or LE drain. That way you can maintain your resources and stay aggressive. Because the entire time you're pressing them with dots, it wastes the resources, and it pretty much just leads to you overpowering and overbearing your target, because they have to play and stay defensive the whole time. And if you keep them defensive, then they don't have the opportunity to go offensive, and you can just go to town wearing them down resources. Alright, so this one here is just a quick duel between me and another Magplar. I'll just commentate over it, and then we'll just take it how it goes. I apply the burning embers, try to keep him maintained with a fossilized whip. I notice he purified my stuff, so I'm just going to reapply everything. Talons him again, whip, just stay aggressive, rebuff from a distance, because this guy, majority of his stuff is up close. So I'm going to move back in, talons again, whip, try to keep him focused and hit by my Infernal Guardian. Like I said, just control the pace of the fight and just stay aggressive and make sure this person cannot go aggressive towards you. That's a lot of your survivability right there. So he starts going aggressive. I'm just going to talons him again so he can't do anything. Whip, burning embers, reapply, go ahead and rebuff up, do a heavy weave, because I know I'm a little bit slower in resources, and he was rebuffing up, and he's playing really passive right now, so I know he's kind of running low on resources, so I'm going to go ahead and try to drop a meteor and try to finish him off, but he ends up out healing everything there. So just back up, rebuff, reapply your status effects, ward up, and like I said, I already know he's been withered super low, and I noticed he's super weak, so got him talons fossilized and finished it up. Okay, so this clip right here is just a small X that we had on a couple random players. I noticed this guy was already super weak and really squishy, so I went ahead and focused him because the healers are in front, so there's nobody there to heal him. I noticed this guy's a Magplar, so I want to go ahead and get him as his heals out of the way as soon as I can. I look back to see just try to focus a target. This dude's a low CP, squishy by himself, so I go ahead and focus him, root him. This guy's the last one alive. I know he's squishy because he was using the bow ult and then medium and a low CP. And clean up this guy right here in the back. I think this is the last one in the clip, but pretty much we can all just focus him down with roots and whatever else. Alright, this clip, again, I took advantage and seen that there was a couple lobies So I want to get them out of the way first. I'm really low, so I'm going to go ahead and pop a rest ult. Keep this guy fossilized. Go ahead and got him out of the way because he's squishy and did a lot of damage. I noticed that somebody was dropping a meteor, so I went ahead and just talons everybody, and then that should do that clip. This clip's a little bit different. There's a lot of aggressive players in this one, and we're in a pretty bad spot. I noticed this dude's really weak, so I went and tried to go aggressive, but I had to back up because I was getting pressured. I have a meteor here, so I'm going to go ahead and talons everybody in and drop a meteor on this healer, the Lobby, get him out of the way, and then, let's see, I just look around, catch my bearings, and see who's the squishiest and who's the weakest. If there's a healer around, I'm still getting focused, so I'm going to go defensive a little bit, pop harness first, then healing, get a little bit of line of sight. These guys are pushing and being aggressive and getting brave, so I got to get them out of the way. Just talons and, like I said, control the pace of the fight. This guy's a Lobby. He was actually in the last clip, so just clean that up. Okay, this clip is just a small 1vx I had against a couple different players. I noticed that they were all clumped up, so I dropped a meteor. And since there's a meteor up, I always want to try to keep them talons so everybody there is taking damage. I already noticed that this guy is super weak, and I try to get him secured, but he ends up getting out of it, and I have to go defensive. Pop a harness, healing, wings, animation cancel, and block cancel wings to mitigate a lot of damage, get a little bit of line of sight, and just to separate him a little bit. This guy gets off to his own and gets brave, so I went ahead and tried to secure this kill, but he's a cloak blade, so he can just constantly cloak out his stuff, so I'm going to try to continuously bring him out, and it's going to waste a lot of his resources going into stealth. So I just want to get him out of the way while he's off on his own. He's going to cloak away till and run away to try to get some resources, so I'm going to heavy weave on the way in because I know I'm low on resources. Following up, he's ran out of resources, so I talent or fossilize and finish it up. This guy's a Lobby, so I'm going to go ahead and drop a meteor and a fossilize and just go to town and just DPS him down real quick. This guy's the last one, so the last one, you know, he's always going to run away. So I catch up to him, fossilize, whip, he's really squishy, and then light attack, burning embers, he's dead. This clip, another decent 1vx, catch people on siege, you can bash them and interrupt them. But just block canceling majority of my things, wings to try to get line of sight to go in here so I'm not getting pressured by 50 people at a time. I want to push back in because I notice this guy's a resident, he's a healer, but I don't think I'm going to get to finish this guy. Actually, nope, not going to get to finish that guy. So I'm getting pressured a lot, so I'm going to try to break line of sight by going in here. And I'm really low on resources. So I'm going to get a little bit of line of sight here. This guy's going to come in here. I'm going to drop a meteor, fossilize, wrap him up. Now there's a meteor here, so I always want talons the people that's in it, so that they're taking a lot of damage. Fossilize this guy because he's already weak. Finish up with a couple whips. Get some more line of sight. Rebuff back up. Try to figure out who I'm going to focus next. Burning embers, talons on this guy. He's super weak. Follow up with a whip. Valken finishes him off. Get some more line of sight. Rebuff. This guy's resin. Couldn't bash the res, but I catch him on his res. Finish it up there. Get a little bit more line of sight because they're acting passive and they're afraid to push in. So I'm gonna drop a meteor on this healer right here. Talons him in it. Whip. Reapply burning embers. This guy's resin, but again could not bash. That guy ends up getting away, so I gotta reline of sight. Holiday's over here, so he can take a lot of the pressure off of me and put mines up. And then so I'm gonna go back into it, see if I can drag a few back over here. But again, he's gonna get away, but I notice there's a lot of people pressuring me from the back, and I'm getting super weak, so I'm gonna go ahead and reapply my buffs, get line of sight, go up the stairs, pop a rest ult, because I actually assumed they were gonna go aggressive. So I noticed that they're pulling back because they're getting focused from the front there. So, and the blues are kind of pushing out. So I'm gonna go ahead and focus this guy. He was already super weak, and end up changing targets. And I changed targets a lot based on who's squishy and who I think that I could burst down or separate, depending on like priority. Because you always have to prioritize your targets. this guy's getting pressured by Holiday, so I'm already going to try to stay aggressive on him. I notice there's a few yellows over here off to themselves, so I'm going to like always try to keep them in talons while these other blues are pushing out, and there's a cold fire to hit them guys. We'll wrap these guys up, drop a meteor, and just clean up the extra ads. That'll finish the video, guys. I hope you guys enjoy. Peace out till next time.